Start record. Now, the building approvals data itself, it is a bit of a minor number, but basically what it has come into play with, it sort of gives us a bit of a lead into the housing data numbers. And that's where a lot of the pressure is on the RBA to sort of keep cutting interest rates, trying to stop everyone sort of getting a bit caught on like a subprime crisis here with the housing market. So it's a good lead into sort of later data. It's not sort of one of the major events, but because of the sensitivity of the housing market, that's why it does come into play. Now, now there's a couple of things also to consider here before we get stuck into the release. We've only got sort of 4 minutes, so I'm not going to waffle on too much about too many other things. First and foremost, the actual currency itself. What we've got is we've had that Chinese data over the weekend, and it's actually sort of thrown things out somewhat with regards to the currency itself. We've got a bit of a gap here in the market, about 45 points, 50 points on the open. Now, that is a bit of a concern to us. It's like, you know, the Chinese themselves releasing economic data over the weekend. It's a bit of a nuisance, creates a bit of uncertainty on the Monday opens when there's less liquidity involved. So what we've got is the Aussie itself is sort of starting to tweak higher here through the resistance levels. Now, there's nothing really on the top side between here and, let me just get rid of this resistance. So it's a bit of open air. At the same time, we do have, it's a US Labor Day in the US and Canada. So when one of the bigger centres is out, generally the rest of the market will take the weekend off as well. It's like a long weekend everywhere. So at the moment, we're just sort of gauging a bit of momentum across the board. And because the market, it's very rare that we would be sort of looking at an opportunity like this early in the week. But the fact is, we've got the retail sales figures tomorrow and the RBA rate announcement as well. So it's a bit of a lead-in. We're not going to actively, just because where the currency is here at the moment, I don't see it as being a great trading opportunity unless it was extremely variant from what the data is, what we're expecting. What we do have is, let me just get the platform up as well. You've got dollar yen sort of in the middle of nowhere. This is the sort of factor is, you know, most Mondays we treat as a long weekend primarily because it takes a sort of day for the overall market to come into play here. You've got dollar yen sort of just tweaking through a previous support line which is acting as resistance. It's above the cloud here as well. It's sort of a bit of no man's land. Once again, as I mentioned, everyone will be always in the back of their mind thinking the US is on holidays, so it's not too much stuff going on. So it's got a few calls coming in there. And so momentum here on Euro is sort of down. Basically sterling, well, it's a little bit sideways, I guess, from the end of last week. We've got this Syrian crisis to sort of consider as well. So there's a number of different areas that probably don't make this a huge opportunity, but what we want to do is sort of just give you a lead into the start of the week so we can actually, you know, get a bit of a gauge on what's happening on the Aussie. As it is, the currency's trading at 89.50. If I just switch it back over to the trading platform, just to kick things off. I've got the dollar CAD up there. Let's get back to the Aussie. And here, this is what we're sort of looking at with regards to the Aussie chart. There, you know, we've got this sort of short-term resistance line, which you can see on the old previous chart. It is sort of tweaking through this level. As I said, you've got the gap here as well. On the other side of things, the currency's getting into overbought territory. There's a number of various different things here sort of pointing to the fact that probably it's not a great trading opportunity to get sort of kicked off to start the week with. And that's where we're sort of looking at just at the moment as I come back across here to the charts themselves. And this old support line, well gone. And you'd redraw this trend line here. So basically the support level on the downside is back down around 88, sort of 90 where this thing, or 89.20 where this thing's broken higher. The real support level is back at 88.92. We've got 30 seconds till this data comes out. So I'll just get the data up over here. What we're sort of looking for is basically some sort of look in here, see what the actual Aussie's going to do. Well, we've got some errors there. Got the T-Rex trading platform up. Let me just kick this off. I'll just read out the sort of data and we'll see exactly if there is any sort of good trading opportunities on this. It is 11.30, and the data is 10.8. Okay, that's pretty damn strong. And what I would consider, you know, a very sort of bullish sort of number for the data. Company profits are getting actually something else that wasn't really sort of scheduled on the main retail pages. As you can see here, we've got the currency sort of was sitting around sort of 50. It's shot up 10 points. You've got some very strong building and housing data there. That's quite encouraging for the RBA. If anything, it probably means people aren't too worried about the situation. They're taking advantage of lower interest rates. The previous building approvals number has been revised a little bit better than last time. But down here, one of the bigger concerns is company profits. They seem to be falling off the charts there. So that's going to impact. You have the strong building approvals. You see the currency shoot up 10 points and then back down 10 points. So that's, you know, I don't see there any sort of major changes here with the actual data itself. If anything, well, this sort of moved us into Tuesday, all right? And I'm just a little bit, let me just get this up. I want to come back and just run through a couple of things here. If I can just get to, oh, too many things up on my screens. If we just have a look at the calendar for the week, it's as I said, and if you probably wouldn't have had a chance to look at the week ahead video. It was just being sent out at the same time you guys received the email for this. The key sort of stuff, and this sort of really kicks off tomorrow. This is the stuff we're preparing for. The Aussie retail sales figures and the RBA rate announcement tomorrow. That's going to sort of dominate the direction for the Aussie for the next few days. The Aussie GDP figures on Wednesday, the next key thing, leading into a bunch of central bank announcements on Thursday. You know, a bit of uncertainty, and those decisions are really based around the statement itself, leading into the gangbuster number on Friday, the US non-farm payroll numbers. So, you know, this data itself is, you know, it's a bit of a mixed result as such, and you take that into consideration with the actual move in the Aussie. If I just have a quick squeeze at the currency, we're sort of dealing back at 60. If anything, they've taken a little bit of positiveness out of the building approvals data. The company profits, which most of the retail market wouldn't have even been expecting, should offset it, and so it doesn't really give us any bias towards tomorrow's retail sales data. Okay, that's the sort of main part of that release. I mean, it's, as I said, it's probably not usually one we would have a look at. There was a potential there for you know, significant variance. As it turned out, there's two variables, and they've sort of offset each other. So there's no sort of general bias here with the currency. All right, and that's the sort of start of the week. I mean, we're very excited to the start of this new month is a huge event, and leading up here with the data itself tomorrow. This is where it's really going to kick off. The retail sales figures at 11:30, and followed by the RBA statement at well 2:30. But we'll be kicking the webinar off at 2:15. We'll have everything prepared by then. As I was sort of mentioning, Brian, I'm sorry about the lateness with that email going out. We're just sort of trying to fix up the back end, so make it easy for you guys to log in. Once you have your members area login, go to the top right hand side of the members site. You should click through to the week ahead schedule. Should click in, and then you can easily join the webinars that way. All right, and that's pretty much it. The currency itself is just banging away here at 62. As I said, I don't expect much more follow through from this. If anything, you know, the stronger Chinese data over the weekend yesterday gave a bit of a strong sort of boost to the Aussie. I don't see this data sort of pushing it one way or the other, and yeah, we're getting more prepared for tomorrow's data. All right, any questions, guys? We'll be sending out some more information today about the new sort of functionality in the access areas. So just bear with us for probably half a day as this is all sort of finally kicked in. All right, and that's pretty much does us for this one. We'll come back, as I said, the main numbers are tomorrow's numbers. And that's where the real week's sort of kicks off. Any questions there, guys? No? Okay, guys. Well, what we'll do is we'll come back. We're going to have an area too. We're building the new video page as well, so you'll be able to